everyone, and welcome to another video. I am sharing today my garden collection that I've been working on. I was super inspired by a fellow journal maker that I'm doing a swap with, and I've been really wanting to do a garden collection for a while. So I had lots of fun with these. One of these journals is already taken, and the other two are for sale. You can head over to my Instagram if you'd like to claim one of these two. But yeah, so thank you so much for joining me, and I'm just going to show you a hopefully quick flip through of these journals. I'm going to start with the two that are for sale, and then I will kind of share just a quick flip through of the one that's already taken, just so you can kind of see it. But these two were definitely, actually all three were definitely inspired by like The Secret Garden and Great Expectations. So I just really wanted to do lots of greens and lots of florals, some really fun antique bits and pieces. And so yeah, so first up is this journal here, a real antique book. This is a Longfellow book called Evangeline. And I took the spine out. It did have a really skinny spine. I built a new spine so I could do 3 signatures in this journal. This is a smaller one, but it's got a ton of pages. So this is like a 6 by 4 inch journal and a 1.5 inch spine. So there's a ton of room to grow. I think there's like 59 pages, something like that, 60 pages in here. And yeah, so let me just show you really quick. I have this really beautiful silky ribbon used to close it up, and hanging on the ribbon is this little charm, this really beautiful little butterfly charm. So cute. So let's open this right up. I just love this little charm. It's so pretty. All right, so here is the cover. It has a really faint image of what looks to be a garden to me. It's very faint, so I can't really tell. But it has this really pretty design. Maybe at one point it had some gold on there, and very faintly you can see the title at the top. I just have this metal embellishing right here. And then there's some layering of some fabrics and some sari pieces. Some beautiful sparkly fabric going on. I just love the look of this spine. So when you open this up, right in the front here, we have a couple different things. We have a little pocket, and then this is just like a little tuck spot, and I just have some green fabric embellishing right here. So tucked into this pocket on the top is this beautiful vintage postcard. Or it's not a postcard. I think this is like maybe an advertising piece. It could have been a postcard, but the back is blank. But this is really beautiful. I just thought it was so pretty and went perfect with the garden theme. And then, as I have on the back of the book here on the inside cover, a cover to a music sheet. I just loved the design of it. I just thought that was really pretty. So yeah, so that was in there. And then tucked into this little spot here is just like a little journaling card and a vintage ticket from France. And then taped on, I have some dried flowers. And these are just washi taped on, so they can come right off, and the owner of this journal can use it throughout, use those throughout the journal if they'd like. And then this little piece here is from an antique shop, and it's one of those like little photo booklets of like a touristy type shop of a little city. And this is Mackinac Island here in Michigan. That's really such a cool image. Then over here we have some really beautiful vintage script paper, some gorgeous sari, and some a little tab of some Tim Holtz wallpaper to embellish. And in these journals I have a lot of really beautiful, I have this garden book. So I used a lot of those book pages of florals, of roses, of gardens, all kinds of things. Some antique invoices, antique book pages. This here is a little envelope that I have that flaps open, and there's just a little journaling card, and on the other side is an antique calling card. And those two just go right in there. On the other side here, I just have some embellishing from with some Ruby and Pearl digitals. This is a Mrs. Cogs digital down here. And then tucked in is an antique little card. This is actually on like a sticker. And then, or this is a vintage piece. And this is a vintage photo, black and white photo of a little girl. Just thought that was really cute. Her name's on here, Dolores. So cute. This is a digital from Dust to Roses. She's got this really gorgeous collection in her shop, and I'm going to link all these shops down below so you can check out these digitals. And then in here is just an image, a floral image, just like a little journaling card type piece. I just love all these sequins, really beautiful floral embellishing pieces. And then in this little pocket is just a handmade tag. Some journaling on the back, lots of journaling space on the back. And I just did a bunch of collaging on that tag. Another digital from Dust to Roses with some really beautiful lace. Then in this pocket here is a vintage flower seed packet, and then I have it washi taped closed, but I have a bunch of smaller ephemera pieces like tickets and things like that in this little seed pocket. I thought that was a really cute way to store some little pieces. In this pocket here, I just have it embellished with an antique label. Another one of those little cards from Mackinac Island, and a little bird flashcard. Those are just tucked right in there. Some really cute embellishing down here. Some more really pretty sequins fabric here. I just sequin fabric. I love this color. And in this pocket here is some more journaling cards. I do gold embossing on old book pages, and I just love how these turned out. And then in this pocket here is another antique postcard. This has some really pretty writing and a stamp on the back. I just love the colors in this one. A Ruby and Pearl digital right in here, and this is an old book page from France. Some music sheet paper, and just paper clipped right in here is just some little embellishing pieces, some vintage stamps, and this came from a vintage greeting card. I just thought it was the cutest little image of a little girl, so adorable. And then here I just made a little journaling card. So this is an old calling card piece, and it was blank. I think it had just one tiny name here, but I just layered on some fabric, wallpaper, and a digital. So this could be used as a little journaling card, and it's clipped right in there. And then in this pocket here, this is a little like a die cut, an old vintage die cut, cute little piece there. And here's just a index card that I had tea dyed and added some alcohol ink to it to kind of age it. And then tucked in, this is just like a little tuck right here of a vintage playing card. And I just have a swatch of some really pretty vintage wallpaper. And then here's the back. So this is just a gorgeous journal, tons of room to grow. So somebody will really love using this. I have this gorgeous journal here. This is a soft cover journal and it's one signature. This is, let me do some measurements here. This is about an 8x5 journal, much taller than the other one I just showed you. And then here we have, tied on the enclosure is a really beautiful little charm. And this little like stone here, it just is kind of cloudy. So it's really, I don't know, it's just a really cool piece. I just loved that. So that is just on the little enclosure there. All right, so right on the cover we have some more really pretty fabrics. This has a little bit of sequin on it, and then we have some vintage lace and some antique wallpaper. Some more fabric and sequin down here. And here's the back. All right, and when we open her up, right in the front here, this is just like my favorite inside cover. I just think it's so pretty because the outside is so like monotone because it's pretty much just green and white and a little bit of gold. And then when you come in here, you just got a lot of color. So it's really, really fun. So we have one big pocket here on the side, and then tucked into this big pocket is a large journaling card that I put together with some Tim Holtz wallpaper, a digital from Ruby and Pearl, and some really pretty ribbon and fabric. And on the back is just blank, so there's tons of journaling space. So that just goes right in there. And then on the side here at the bottom, I use a vintage card to make another little tuck. So this just has some tickets and some old vintage labels. And then tucked into there is just like a little tag that I made that I put some tea dye paper on the back. So there's plenty of journaling space. It's a little tag, but there's lots of writing space. Over here, I just embellished this page with some wallpaper and some pretty fabric. Some more of those floral garden images. And then this is a pocket with some lace. This was made out of a vintage postcard. So we have like a little tuck here, a little tuck here, and then the big tuck down there. And this is, I just included a vintage postcard, or I mean a vintage playing card. And down here in the bottom is a vintage postcard with some pretty florals, really pretty picture, and a tiny bit of writing on the back. This one's really gorgeous. Let's see, some more really pretty fabric tabs. And then this piece here is a from a vintage plant book. And then we have a Ruby and Pearl digital and some really beautiful antique paper, some letter paper. And then over here, I just love this. This is just like a little paper clip that I tied a fabric scrap to, made a little bow. So these two pages came from a book from the 1800s, a children's book. And I loved this because it had this really beautiful picture of these two little kids in a garden, and then it had a little poem next to it. So I wanted to include those because I just thought that was so pretty. Tucked into this pocket here is an antique letter and an antique book page with some beautiful imagery. Another Ruby and Pearl digital. This is some really pretty tea-dyed paper I purchased on Etsy. I'll link her shop down below. Loved this paper, really pretty. This is some vintage wallpaper, and I just made a little pocket. And then tucked in here is a really pretty pink invoice, a vintage invoice. And then here is a little tag that I made from some Tim Holtz paper. and some little ephemera pieces. And then in here is just like a little belly band with some more journaling cards. Some of my favorite vintage ledger. This one's dated 1904. The texture of this is so nice. And then down here I have some Dusty Roses, a digital piece here, and then this is an antique die cut image of a little cherub. Sadly, one of the wings fell off, but I just glued it on, so it's just like a little tuck. So I just have tucked in just a couple little tickets. Another wallpaper pocket that I have in here, one of those index cards, and a vintage advertising piece with some really pretty flowers and gold on there. Another ruby and pearl digital. And in this pocket here, I just have some antique lace and another antique postcard. And in this little pocket here, some more little really pretty fabric and Tim Holtz wallpaper journaling card. And then on this page here, just some embellishing with some trim. This flips, this is an envelope that just flips open. And then inside here I have antique calling card, some little stamp tickets, and an invoice. Just love this piece. And here's the back. Really, really pretty. And then next I will do a quick flip of this one. Like I said, this one is taken. This is actually the first journal that I did in this collection. Really pretty antique wallpaper, lots of different fabrics. And here's a pocket with a postcard and some embossed paper. This envelope here just has a little bit of fabric on there and a really pretty rose piece. This is like an image from a music sheet page. This really cool antique paper. This is a Dust to Roses digital. A little invoice and garden type postcard. This is like a advertising piece here. Another Dust to Roses digital. These digitals are so pretty. And in this pocket here, some tickets and a tag. Little journaling cards in this little tuck. A wine label image, really pretty floral image there. This is like a floating pocket that I made. The back just has tea-dyed paper. This is a really pretty image from Mrs. Cogs. And then a lace pocket here. And then inside is this journaling card with a ruby and pearl digital. And this is a really cool, like a rose stamp. And a dried flower. It's a really fun piece to make. And some more little pieces down here. Calling cards, some journaling cards. This is just like a little key charm on the side. And I think oh yeah, and I forgot to share. This is like a little locket, a heart-shaped locket charm. Antique postcard. Another antique postcard here, and this is a really pretty vintage wallpaper pocket with some lace. Just some embellishing down here with a believe this is Mrs. Cogs. And a large Tim Holtz tag. And then back here is another one of those vintage playing cards, journaling card, and this is a really beautiful piece from a autograph book. And this is a very, very old piece. I can't remember the date on that book, but yeah, really lovely little message written there. This is a book image. It's called In the Garden. Really cool. Just some stamping here with some embossing powder. And then this is just like a little tuck. And then tucked inside here is one of those really pretty die cuts. And then a vintage greeting card. So yes, this collection was so much fun to work with. So much fun playing with all these beautiful florals and fabrics. So like I said, I have these two that are for sale. You can head on over to my Instagram and DM me if you'd like to claim. Otherwise, they will be on my Etsy shop as well if they are not purchased before, you know, tomorrow. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I truly appreciate every single one of you and all your sweet, lovely comments. And don't forget to like this video and comment down below what my next journal collection should be. I need some inspiration on what to make next. So thank you guys. Bye.